What's up, guys? Welcome to an edition of Market Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. If you're new to Market Marauders, it's an investment channel, helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below, like, comment, and share. Now, this week, I'll be giving you my options watch list. I try to do these videos every week and try to give some insight into options trading, just so that people who are new to options, or even those who are, trying to learn some more information about options, can get an insight. So the way I do it, also I do it based off of Webull as well as Robinhood, and try to give a side-by-side comparison of the two, because I know those are two major platforms that most people use. If you don't have Webull or if you don't have Robinhood, I have a link down below where you all can sign up and get either one of the apps. They're very helpful. So let's jump into it. So for my first one, on my weekly options watch list, I have ticker sign F for Ford Motor. Now going into their chart, their moving average 10 is $7.32. Moving average 50 is $7.30. Moving average 100 is $7.35. They ended the week at $7.34. And it looks like they're going to be on a little bit of a breakout. So they've gone above their moving average 50, and they're well on their way to be above their moving average 100. Now, going into the option side of Webull, I have another tab over here. So for options, you actually have to sign up for options on both platforms. So just downloading the app, you will automatically get options. So you have to fill out some forms to get approved for options on both Webull and on Robinhood. So just bear that in mind when you get the app. On either platform, you're not going to automatically have access to options. Both platforms have a form that you have to fill out to request to have access to options. So just bear that in mind. With that being said, I like to go into some background information on the stock and not just jump directly into the chart. I don't like relying directly on the chart. I like to get some background information so I can help myself make a more formed decision. Basically, just part of doing your due diligence when it comes to trading options or trading any stock of that matter. You want to read as much as you can about the company so you can make an informed decision, and it's not just guessing. The more information you know, the more powerful of a trade you can make, and the more money you basically make. So you're basically getting paid to learn information. That's the way I look at it. So recently, on June 2nd, it says Volkswagen invest in Argo AI. Means for Ford self-driving vehicle business. Last July, Ford and Volkswagen announced collaboration with Argo AI to introduce autonomous vehicle technology in the U.S. and Europe. As part of the collaboration, Volkswagen would join Ford in investing in Argo AI. Working together with Argo AI position both Ford and Volkswagen to better serve our future customers while improving the cost capital efficiencies. While the uncertainty of today's business environment has created a challenge for partnership and investment in self-driving space, this collaboration remains on track and will be positive development for everyone involved, as a Volkswagen's investment in Argo AI was finalized on June 1st. So basically, both of them come together and invest in this one company for AI technology to help develop for self-driving cars, which everyone knows that Tesla already has technology like this. But to me, it's a pretty cool achievement for both Ford and Volkswagen to come together to do this, because they're such large car manufacturers. You know, you go and look up Volkswagen. Volkswagen is not just the bug car, the Beetle, as people call it, or it's not just the Jettas and stuff like that. Volkswagen actually owns a lot of different luxury car brands. So and a lot of different car brands in general. So, their technology being with Ford's technology, it'll be easy for people to adapt to both of those if they're using both the same technology. Um, that being said, going into Robinhood first, and I'm going to jump back to Webull. In Robinhood, I think a call between $8 to $10 would be a good place. If we see on here, I actually have three already at the $10 price. And August 21st expiration date is a pretty good expiration date in my opinion. If you're new to options, on the left hand side is the strike price, right hand side is the price you pay. So this for buying options, you're basically agreeing to buy 100 shares of a stock at a certain price. So when you buy a contract, that's what one contract represents. On the right hand side, this is the price you pay per contract, but also bear in mind that it's 100 shares. So this isn't 14 cents. This is actually going to be $14 is what you pay per contract. So just bear that in mind if you're new to options. Also, for me, I personally buy calls and buy puts. I don't sell calls and sell puts, or I haven't yet. But buying calls and buying puts, just a small explanation. If you buy a call, that means you believe that the stock is bullish. You believe that it's going to go up above a certain price, which is the left hand side, which is this strike price. A put means you believe it's going to go down below a certain price, which will have different strike prices. So for me, I bought three of these at $10 strike price because I believe the company definitely has the potential to get above $10 before August 21st. They have a lot of things going for the company. Their commercials seem to be everywhere. I've seen them on YouTube. I've seen them just on TV, just everywhere. So they definitely have a really big marketing campaign going on, and I think it's gonna get people to buy more Ford cars, as well as the things they're doing with the whole self-driving car system. I think that's going to yield beneficial as well in just R&D and information they can learn from partnering with Volkswagen and the AI company. So going into Webull, this is the options section of Webull. Now we got to find the date, August 21st. We'll look at that. This middle one is the current stock price. And let's see if we can find the way Webull is set up for options. If you've never used Webull before, it basically has all the information on this one, section. So this ask right here is in representative sale. This bid is basically buy. Same on here. This bid is buy. This ask is sell. So for me, I said I only buy and sell puts. I mean, buy and sell calls and buy and sell puts. So the bid portion is the portion that I'm looking for. So we said about $10 range. So they actually don't have one for $10. Yes, they do. Here it is, right here. So between $8 to $10, what I said. So 8 to 10, right here. You're gonna buy it's between 13 to $50 for buying the call. So prices are pretty much similar. What you save $1 on this one, and it shows 10 people have it, and that's how you basically do it. You'll basically click on this one. You'll go to buy. It'll highlight the buy section on here, and then you can basically buy that option. So jumping into my next one on my tab, we have ticker sign AAL for American Airlines. The moving average 10 is $18.53. Moving average 50 is $18.30. Moving average 100 is $18.41. Going and looking at some more for AL. If we look, they've been on a little bit of a breakout towards the end of the day. A lot of people, it rallied, quite a bit, and a lot of people bought shares. I like to use this three-tier method by having the moving average 10, moving average 50, and moving average 100 because to me it actually, helps me to determine where a breakout will be or how it will occur. A lot of people use a lot of different uh, trading styles, Fibonacci's, triangle patterns. To me, this is it may be old school, but this is just a way to me that I understand it, and that's the whole point of investing. Just do something that works for you. You don't have to use this method. You don't have to, you know, go into the level of detail that I go into as far as researching stocks. It's just the way that that I do it. Whatever method works for you, be my guest to do it. The whole goal at the end of the day is just to grow your account to make more money. So if you have a method that works, then just continue using that method. I'm just showing you my methods. So if we look on here, we can see that a small breakout had began because it crossed its moving average 50. It barely crosses moving average 100, but then it kind of got stuck in between its moving average 50 and its moving average 100, and then it finally dipped down below it yet again, and then it went down. But at the end of the day, it began to rally kind of this breakout. So if you didn't know anything else, if you're just looking at the chart and you had these three lines, you can see right here is where the line converged. And once it converged between its moving average 10 and moving average 50 and passed through, if you bought, you could have made at least a little bit of money at the end of the day if you were just buying the stock itself. So I like these three metrics to rate it, and that's just my synopsis on how I read charts. But reading charts to me is not enough information. I like to actually go in and read some more stuff about how the company is performing and what's going on with the company because I think that helps you make a more informed decision. With that being said, going into some press releases from American Airlines. I'm just going to read the title of this and just the small portion that they have because there are a lot of things going on with this company. So it says American Airlines to webcast annual meeting of shareholders. That's going to be an interesting one to listen to. So just Google press releases and you'll come find that one. Bring on summer. American Airlines increases domestic flying for summer travel season. Begins reopening Admirals Club and increased flexibility. So to me, that's one of the biggest telltale signs that the economy is rebounding because people are going on vacations and the whole pandemic situation. People aren't really looking at it anymore as in depth as they were before. The airlines are starting to open back up, which is fantastic news in my opinion. And for them to say that they've increased domestic flying for summer travel, to me it's fantastic as well because it was a point in time where nobody knew how to tackle the pandemic situation. Planes were shut down. Airports were ghost towns essentially because they were trying to combat the running situation. Borders closed, things of that nature. So to see that American Airlines is taking the steps to open back up, domestic flying and increase the number of flights that they have, as well as their rewards program. I think that's a step forward in the right direction, and one of the reasons to me why the stocks actually rallied. So, with all that information, uh, I think sticking with the August 21st date, I think strike price between $20 to $22 before August to me is realistic. Um, you're really looking to pay between $258 and $333, and this is on the Robinhood platform. So, doing my comparison, going to the Webull platform, um, going to my other tab for options. I'm going to type in AAL, and then we have August 21st. Looking at a strike price between $20 to $22. So yeah, they have those. Those are available. So 22 you got $240, and 20 you got $330 on this left hand side compared to um, this one on here. So the prices, are kind of in a similar range. So it's not too far off. So, if you have both platforms, you might be able to get a little bit of a deal on one compared to the other one, but you're relatively going to be paying similar prices for similar calls and puts. Yeah, so $20 strike price on Robinhood, is listed as $333, whereas on Webull, a $20 uh, strike price to buy a call is $330. So I mean, you save $3 by using Webull opposed to Robinhood. Now, to some people, that's huge, that's a big deal, but to other people, it may not be a big deal. If you're buying, a large amount, that money does add up, so it may be a huge deal. If you're planning on buying, 15, 20 different call options, that money does add up. So, it kind of benefits you to have both Robinhood and Webull, for that purpose. So jumping into my next one on mine, I have MGM for next week. MGM, is definitely one of those companies that was hit pretty hard by the pandemic, and people weren't really going to hotels, didn't know when they were going to open back up, didn't know how Las Vegas was going to operate. Given the current status of the country, but its moving average 10 is 2169, moving average 50 is 2169, and moving average 100 is 2195. So going into chart on here, um, back to the way I analyze charts, we can see right here, this is where it has converged. So it has converged right at its moving average 10 and moving average 50. And to me, when I see a convergence like that, to me that initiates the beginning of a breakout. So I believe that this is going to break out. But just reading charts, um, I could say, oh yeah, this is going to break out because this convergence has happened, and then possibly there'll be another convergence. So you have convergence number one, and then you'll have a convergence number two. Then you'll be on like a really big breakout. So this is the beginning of a small breakout to me, pattern wise, how I read charts. So there's a reason for this convergence and a reason why they start to break out. So that is the information that I want to know, and if it's a long-lasting impact that could continue it to make it reach this moving average 100 price. Now going into MGM, we can see that they just recently released on June the 5th that they were opening the hotel and casino back up. So it says MGM announced it will reopen Excalibur Hotel and Casino Thursday the 11th. So it's basically open already. So, by the time you watch this video, it'll be open. It says following the closure earlier this year amidst the whole pandemic situation, Excalibur joins MGM Resorts, Bellagio, New York, MGM Grand Las Vegas, and the Signature, which all open the doors in Las Vegas Thursday, June 4th. So those open June 4th, and this one opened on June 11th. So, to me, that's huge news as, planes. The airlines are starting to beef up, and resorts and hotels and casinos are starting to come back. So America is coming back to its new normal, which to me is fantastic. But they also, in this press release, also explain the measures that they're taking to help with safety. It says MGM Resorts has a comprehensive 7-point safety plan. Um, reflects a multi-layered set of protocols, procedures designed in conjunction with medical and scientific experts to mitigate the spread of viruses, protect customers and employees, and rapid response potential new cases. So they're basically, found a way to combat this on their own in their facility, which is basically the plan that a lot of companies were doing in this whole shutdown period. It says employee screening, temperature checks, and um, you know pandemic training. It says pandemic testing offered for employees as they return to work in partnership with local medical communities. Uh, Employees will be required to wear masks. Guests are strongly encouraged to wear masks, and in some settings where physical distancing is more difficult and/or barriers do not exist, will require to do so. Examples of where masks will be required include salons, table games, uh, where physical barriers are not in place, and elevators. If riding with guests outside of their travel group, masks will be provided free of charge. So that's awesome that they're actually providing the masks for people. I think that's another layer of safety that people will be more willing to come back if those things are implemented. As long as they can see a plan, I think people will feel more comfortable going back to the resorts. For me, I would feel more comfortable going back to the resorts. If there are guidelines in place that I know that the company's actually taking these measures to help, mitigate my risk as a person who's staying at the hotel and resort or casino. And it says guest room attendants wear a mask and gloves while cleaning each room and will change gloves between guest rooms. In addition, increased and enhanced routine cleaning of guest rooms and public spaces based on CDC guidance. Electrostatic sprayers are utilized in many large public spaces that disinfect is applied efficiently. So, there's a lot of things going on. I think, it's pretty cool, uh, you know, that they're coming back in their new innovative ways. With that being said, I think that the stock's going to continue to climb, in my opinion, because more people are going to be going, revenue is going to be increasing. Because more people are coming and actual resorts and casinos are not shut down. um, you know, I'll be looking forward to go to one. If I had the time to go. But I think a call would be the best option in my opinion. Looking for a strike price between $23 and $28. So this large range right here. And you're looking to pay between $112 on Robinhood to $251 on Robinhood. Now jumping into Webull, just do a comparison. In Webull, we're going to search MGM. And in MGM, we're going to go to the date. So the date is August 21st. Strike price between $23 to $28. So it looks like it stops at $25. So between $22 to $25 is going to be your price. You'll be looking to pay between $179 to $280. So if we compare the $22 strike price, we have $28 on here, and I mean not 28, $280 on here, and $179 on here. So let's compare that to the price on Robinhood, and for 22, which it already is, you got $295. Um, so 295 compared to 289. So you'd be saving, a little bit of money going with Webull opposed to, going with Webull opposed to the Robinhood in this situation. So, not saying one is better than the other because I don't represent either one. Just showing you side by side comparison that you may possibly save money on this specific option. Now, going into our next one, we got ticker sign BA for Boeing Corporation. Moving average 10 is 205.49. Moving average 50 is 204.60. Moving average 100 is 205.36. So if we look at their chart, we can see that they were on a breakout, a small breakout. But to me, I don't think this is that big of a breakout. And I only say that because their moving average 50 and moving average 200, moving average 100 are so close together. So, it's not really that big of a jump to get between the two. They were almost the same, then they split up a little bit and then it jumped out. So, yes, technically it is a breakout, but, you know, it's a small breakout just based on the convergence of the moving average 50 and moving average 100 that almost happened up here. So with that being said, go into some background information on Boeing. This is just their press release, just news releases and statements. It says Boeing delivers first Super Hornet Blue Angel test jet. Boeing CEO condemns intolerant and harassment in note to employees. And Boeing resumes 737 MAX production. So, there's a lot of things going on at Boeing. They're making constant moves, um, you know, constant things that are going on. Um, you know, they basically, to me, in my opinion, have rebounded from the whole 737 MAX problems that they had before the whole pandemic situation happened. So before that happened, they switched CEOs, and they were trying to find a path forward, but the FAA was, you know, not happy with the way that they were producing the 737 MAX, and because of that, a lot of planes got grounded. Even before the pandemic, a lot of planes got grounded that were 737 Maxes. So it seems like they're on the right track, in the right direction, and the stock definitely reflects that. So with that being said, I think a call between 210 and 220 would be the best option. So you're looking at these three. Now these are a little more pricier than the other ones. You'll be looking between 1,000 $913 to $2,300. So a little more pricey than the ones we've seen in the past, in the previous part of the videos. But I like to give a range of different ones based on performance of the company and how I think the company will perform in the long run. So we still have that August strike price. So let's go and compare it to the options on Webull. So if we go into Webull options. We're going to type in BA for Boeing. Then we're going to go to the August 21st. And then go to the strike price of 210. And we can see between the 210 and 220 strike price, we have a price of 2,215 to 1,835. So a little cheaper on Webull, yet again, but that's just the way it goes. Not saying one is better than the other one, just doing a side by side comparison of the two. Now, this platform looks a lot cleaner and looks a little bit better. And what I've heard from a lot of people is that, you know, uh, options are really hard to understand on trying to get the information on Webull, but hopefully these videos help to guide you in the right direction if you're trying to do options yourself, if you're trying to convert from Robinhood to Webull or Webull to Robinhood, or if you're just trying to do a both side by side comparison like I do right now. So Also, just bear in mind these are all based off stagnant prices because the market is closed. So all these prices will change and fluctuate, and be different prices. Um, when the actual market is open. So just bear that in mind. So jumping into my next one on my watch list, I have INTC for Intel. Moving average 100 is 64.36. Moving average 50 is 64.65. Moving average 100 is 64.76. We look at their chart. It looks like they've gone down quite a bit. We have a convergence as well, like on the other one where the moving average 100 goes above the moving average 50. Now, if that's a telltale sign that a breakout's going to happen, I don't know. Haven't analyzed the chart that long. But we do see once that happens where all the stocks kind of converge at one focal point, then, the downward trend kind of begins. So, maybe a new pattern for some people out there. Just pointing out what happened in the chart. So, with that being said, even with all that stuff going on, I think they have some interesting things going on in the company. So, says Bob Swan says sideline are not an option. Intel pledges 1 million to address social justice and racism. And it says opinion, non-obvious scale implications of safety on AV design. Uh, and then jump into this other one. Intel acquires Revit Networks, boosting Intel's Wi-Fi offerings for PC platforms. Then there's a lot of stuff going on with this company. Um, I kind of like the fact that they've taken a social stance. Um, I know a lot of companies haven't taken a social stance. Don't know how this will affect them revenue wise. It might affect them revenue wise, but this is a pretty old article. It's not recent. It wasn't even in June, but who knows how that whole situation works. With that being said, I think Intel's still a very strong company. I think they have a lot of growth potential, and I think we could see them definitely going back up, despite what the chart is saying. And I think August 21st, continuing with that time frame, with a strike price between $65 to $70, is definitely a realistic price to see them get to. Definitely by that time, because August is so far away in comparison. So you're not going to have theta decay, as bad as you would if you tried to get it the next week. So if you do that, you're going to be looking to pay between 151 to 340 on the Robinhood app. If we go to Webull, go into our options section. Oh, another thing that I forgot to mention is when you're doing and you're setting up your charts, make sure they're all in the same group. That's one problem that you may have because you'll click on here, you'll type it in, but this chart will be whatever stock you had last. This will be whatever you had last. So if you want them to change seamlessly between all of them at the same time, get the quote, the trade option, as well as the chart um, to all change at the same time, then make sure that they're all in the same group. And you just click on set group and change them all and make sure they're all the same. So that's just, if you guys are new to charts on here, you're just trying to navigate your way through, definitely will help out a lot. So going to the date of August 21st. So there are only two on here that I'm seeing, and that is the 65 and 67. So 70 is not available on here. So or is it available? It is available. Okay. Sorry about that. So between 65 and 70. So we're looking to pay between $142 to $330. So if you look at the 65, it's $330 on here, and on Robinhood, it's $340. So you'll save roughly $10 per contract if you were to go with Webull over Robinhood on Intel for that specific strike price. So jumping into my last one, we have ticker sign NFLX, and that is for Netflix. So its moving average 10 is $418.84. Moving average 50 is $418.87. Moving average 100 is $417.85. It ended the week at $419.60. And it looks like this chart is all over the place. So if we go back here, we can see they had a breakout. The breakout began right here, continued, went all the way up. Breakout began when it moved past its moving average 50, and then it went past its moving average 100. It continued this uptrend, went all the way to 420.24, and then ended the week. Went down a little bit past its moving average 50, and then it kind of went back, and now it's converged back at its moving average 50 and its moving average 10. So it's kind of broke out past that to end the week at 419.60. So jumping into some background information on Netflix, there wasn't really much. I'm just going to read some of the highlights of this stuff. It says Netflix announced proposed $1 billion offering of senior notes. Netflix prices offering senior notes and notice of pendency of proposed settlement of stockholder derivative action. So to me, why I picked Netflix is I think that Netflix is going to be going down. I think it's, priced way too high, especially, since they're not the only streaming service on this ecosystem. There are a lot of other streaming services, Hulu, Disney Plus. Not to say, those two are going to, take over Netflix and Netflix is not going to be anymore. I just think, with more diversity, less people are going to be using just one platform. So I think that is actually taken into effect. I think Disney Plus has been around long enough for people to have made their mind whether they want to use it and Netflix or use it or Netflix. And I think we're beginning to see how the actual streaming services are going to compete with each other. So with that being said, I think a put, in my opinion, is the best option for my watch list. And I want to say between 405 to 414, which I'm just going to say 405 to 410. These two price ranges. Since there's no 414 on here, there's 415. So I'm just going to stick with this 405 and 414 put. And the August 21st expiration date, you're looking to pay between $2,725 and $2,493. So these are pretty pricey as well, but let's compare them to the price of the ones on the Webull app. So going to options on here, we'll type in Netflix and And for a put, which is going to be on this right hand side, there is the actual price. And then we're going to go down to 405. No, I'm going to go to 405 to 410. So these two right here, um, looks like it's this buy put. Looks like it's 450 to 315. Oh, actually, I'm on the wrong date. Sorry about that. I was wondering why it was so cheap in compared to other ones. Okay, so we're looking between 410 and 414. We got 2,675 and 2,915. So if we look at the other price in comparison on the Robinhood, so for 410 we got 2,675 on Webull, and on Robinhood for 410 we got 2,725. So you know you're gonna save probably about $100, which is a really big deal. When thinking about it, so you save about $100 per option if you use Webull over Robinhood in that situation. So, hope this video helped you out. If you still want to, join Robinhood or join Webull, I definitely have links down below. Just showing you side-by-side comparisons of the two. Tell me what you guys are looking at this week. What stocks you guys have on you all's watch list. I'm definitely interested to know. Make sure that thumbs up button. Make sure you smash the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.